You know, we've all heard the concept, pay yourself first, but what does it mean? Money, don't pay your bills, put other people second, ego, be selfish, be spoiled. And in this section, we're gonna teach you and show you that if you really wanna help others, if you really care about your loved ones, then you've gotta take care of the most important person, yourself. Because no matter how much you put them in front and you take care of them and you're altruistic and you do sacrifice, if you don't take care of yourself, then you can't take care of them.
Right. It's amazing notion that I'm just starting to realize. And the analogy that comes into my head, usually when I go on an airplane, I see the same thing again and again and again. I see the steward talking about the mask.
Right.
That once it drops,
In case of emergency, the exit rows are at the back, to the left, and the right.
Exactly. And then he talks about the masks. And then the first thing that I was curious about was, why should I take the mask first and not my child? Like, I want to protect my child first. But yet they explain in every flight that you need to take the mask first. And I think this metaphor signals what we should do in life. So I would prefer, first of all, to take the oxygen mask to myself, put the time, first of all, to myself. So whenever it is, if it's a 5-year plan, a yearly plan, a monthly plan, a weekly plan, I will always put some time for myself. And I was in a vacation now with my family. It was like 30 family members, and they all looked at me like, are you sure you're going to sleep? 9 p.m. We just started. The party already started. Why are you going to sleep? And I said, I'm sorry, but I like to wake up at 4 a.m. It's the best hours. So I'm going to sleep every day, 9 p.m. I go to sleep. I like 7 hours of sleep every night. And also my mind relaxes more when it knows that every night it's going to be the same hour that I'm going to fall asleep. So it's going to be 9 p.m. and I'm going to wake up at 9 a.m. That's much better for me. So I'm sorry, but I'm going to leave now. And I walked. And I can see them listening to me, and I can see the criticism. I can understand that. But I realize that for me, it's the best mechanism. And when I look at the 3 hours of exercises that I'm, like the ceremony that I'm doing every morning, and then when I come to breakfast at 8 a.m., I already had the guitar lesson, and I already have the meditation. I already had my exercise. That's very, very powerful for me. So I'm not gonna give up on my routine for someone else.
So when someone says that's selfish, you're putting yourself first, you're putting your meditation, your exercise, your guitar lesson, your sleep schedule before your wife, your kids, you're selfish. Have you ever heard that? Or
I heard that a lot. And what I normally use in order to convince or to explain myself, I would use the feel, felt, found technique. So basically what I would say is, like, listen, I really get you. I understand what you're thinking. I understand where you're coming from, because I was exactly like that. Not long ago. Just a year ago, I was exactly thinking the same way as you.
And let's talk about the moms. I think the best, most incredibly challenging job in the world is raising children. And I know a lot of dads do it and help, but the moms really do a lot of it.
Right.
And I'll never forget when my son was just born, because of our lifestyle, my wife at the time could stay home full time and not have to work and take care of the child. And I thought, what an easy job. That's what everyone thinks, especially men. And I said, wow, she's a housewife. You know, she's waking up late, she's watching television, reading books, talking to her friends, watching the kid a little bit. Must be great. You know, her life must be vacation. And I'll never forget one day when my son was very young, she said, would you mind watching Alexander for 2 hours? I said, 2 hours can be easy. What could be so challenging about it? Well, he's an infant, he's crawling, he's moving, every second you have to watch him, he needed something, he's crying. And for a man, it was very, very stressful. And I didn't have one free second.
Oh.
And after about 30 minutes, I'm going, how does she do this all day? It's impossible. I could barely do it for 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours. Even the moms out there, they need a vacation just for themselves, right?
Right.
Not just the family, not just the mom and the dad and the kids going on a vacation. But those moms are working so hard, and the dads are working so hard, and they're not taking any time for themselves. And that's really what a vacation is, not just a 3-week cruise or a 2-week trip to the mountains or the beach, but that time just for yourself. So they need to schedule it. And one of the things that happens in so many working relationships, family relationships, couple relationships, parenting relationships, is people lose themselves. Men do it, and a lot of women do it because they put everyone ahead of themselves.
Another notion that I think is very, very important is where is the balance between your family and your customers? Who is more important? Your boss? Your child? Your wife? Who is more important? And I know a lot of people that work 14 hours a day. They get back from work. They don't have time for the kids. They don't have time for the wife. So they feel like they're guilty again, right?
Right.
So what would you recommend them to do?
They have to prioritize, decide who's really first.
Okay, that notion for me was very new because I used to work a lot. I used to prefer my customers on any other topic that I had in my mind, on my hobbies, on my wife, on my friends, and I didn't have time. So what I started working upon is a model of circles where I'm in the circle, and then the next circle is my wife and my 2 kids, and then the third circle is my good buddies, my family, other family members that I really like. So if there's a guy, maybe he's a family member, maybe he's a friend, maybe he's a customer. If I would go through the mall and I would see him, and the first instinct that I have is that I want to turn 180 degrees and go back, then he's not in the third circle. He's probably in the fourth or the fifth circle. The first fun exercise that I would suggest to do, I did it myself, is who will be in each and every circle. Just think about the people in your life, think about your customers, think about your friends, think about your family members, and just try to put them in circles. Who do you want to devote your time to? Who is more important? And then it's much easier to decide on your activity, and later on in next chapters we will talk about your weekly plan and monthly plan. You can already make a decision who you're going to spend the next vacation with, because you don't want to spend the time with someone that is less important to you. You want to spend the next vacation with someone that you really feel that energize you. So this is the first fun exercise that I would want to talk about.
That'd be great. And I also recommend a plus and minus system. Everyone in life, you know what you feel either gives you energy or takes your energy. There's some people that you're around, I like being around you, you give me energy, you get great ideas, it's fun, correct?
Right.
And you feel better. And there's some people in life, you're around them for a little while, they're good people, we're not judging them, but they take your energy and afterwards like, whew, that was challenging, it was hard.
Right.
And we understand there's certain people that you have to be around, but by those people, put a plus or a minus.
Right.
Do they make you feel better when you're around them or worse?
Right.
And if they have a minus, maybe you want to move into an outer circle.
Wow.
Or maybe subtract them altogether.
Right.
Because all we have in life is our time and our energy. Who would you want to go on vacation with? Someone that takes your energy, that makes you feel drained and tired, or someone that makes you feel great and positive? So pick 2 or 3 people in your life that get a minus, and maybe there's a way to put them in a further circle, or in some cases, get them out of all the circles so your life, your energy, your vacation mentality goes up.
And I want to add another fun exercise, something that will provide a lot of benefit for the next chapters. So think about a situation where 80% of the current time that you have is now you don't need to work anymore, and you don't need to spend the time with your children and wife, and you have 80% of your time free. Now I know what your mind starts to telling you is, come on, I will not have 80% of the time. It's crazy. Impossible, I can't do it. But I can say that this exercise is mind-blowing because you're gonna have already the priorities of things that you can do with your spare time, and you already start thinking about, okay, now I have a very good motivation to make my business much more successful, to make more money, so I have time to relax and to do what I really like to do.
And I like to give a little bonus while people are going to be doing this fun exercise, and that is this. My sages in research have taught me that the reason we get paid to work, think about it, is not really why we think it is. The reason we get paid to work is we're getting paid for our time because we're not doing what we really should be doing, which is what we love to do, what's fun to do, spending time with family, studying, reading, learning, spiritual, religious pursuits, whatever it could be. So we get compensated for our time because we're not doing what we should or love to do. And this exercise, fun exercise, when they do it, what would I do if I had the free time, is so important. And to really put it bluntly, and I hope you don't mind, there's a great book, and it's okay in our book, in our teachings, to recommend other books, called 11 Minutes. And it's about a prostitute. And it's based on a true story. And when I say the word prostitute, people think it's horrible. And it is. But she says she did it to make the money. Then she went to Europe. She was from South America and worked to become a prostitute. And it was about 11 minutes that she had to do things she didn't want to do, was forced to do, that most people think is wrong. But she said that anybody who's trading their time for money for something they don't love, that they wouldn't do, they're also prostitutes. And that's why it's so important to decide, I want free time, I want to do what I want to do, but if you don't know what you want to do, don't know what you love to do, then you can't do it. So that's why this exercise is so valuable.
Thank you. Great distinction.
Let's take a break.
Yeah, let's take another break.
Pretty good?
Yeah.
What do you think? Easy as pie, huh?